You're over 60 and feel like you've lost sensitivity? Having trouble feeling pleasure with your partner? Does your blood pressure spike during intimacy, or do you feel unexplained fatigue afterward? I'm Dr. Charles Bennett, a urologist for 30 years, and I need to warn you. There are 8 devastating mistakes that men your age make during masturbation that are destroying your cardiovascular system, overworking your prostate, and killing your capacity to feel real pleasure. I'm not talking about morals or religion, I'm talking about health. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal exactly what these mistakes are that no doctor has the courage to discuss openly with you. Watch this video until the end, because you're going to discover how to reverse the damage you may be causing to your body right now, how to recover the sensitivity you thought you'd lost forever, and how to transform your sexual health after 60, even if you think it's too late. I'm going to show you real cases of patients who were one step away from a heart attack and managed to recover completely just by changing some simple habits. Grab your coffee, get comfortable, and prepare yourself for an honest conversation that could literally save your life. The foundational concept you must grasp is that after crossing 60, the masculine physiology undergoes profound transformations. Your circulatory system no longer operates with the efficiency it possessed at 30 or 45. Testosterone production naturally declines. The prostate gland enlarges. This is completely normal and expected biology. Here's where trouble begins. If you continue employing the identical techniques you utilized 2 decades ago without any adaptation whatsoever, you're practically inviting serious complications. Let me share an analogy I frequently use with my patients. Picture your body as an automobile. A brand new vehicle can easily handle a cross-country road trip at high speeds without requiring stops. But a 30-year-old classic car? You need regular brakes, premium fuel, oil checks, suspension maintenance. Your body follows identical principles. Ignoring this reality is a recipe for disaster. Now let's examine the 8 critical mistakes in detail. Mistake number 1. Applying excessive force. Mr. Anderson confessed something revealing during our session. Over the years, he found himself squeezing progressively harder to achieve arousal. Dr. Bennett, it feels like I've lost all sensation down there, he explained. The reason? He'd literally conditioned his body to respond exclusively to extreme stimulation. Consider the mechanics. When you apply excessive pressure, you're compressing blood vessels, restricting local circulation, and over time, damaging nerve endings. It's equivalent to gradually killing your body's natural capacity for pleasure. After 60, peripheral nerves already demonstrate reduced sensitivity naturally. Adding forceful handling creates a compounding effect. There's another phenomenon many gentlemen don't recognize, what medical literature calls traumatic masturbatory syndrome. You're essentially training your nervous system to ignore gentle, natural touch, whether from your own hand or from a partner. Have you considered that your difficulty experiencing pleasure with your wife might not reflect on either of you, but rather stems from this unconscious conditioning? I treated a patient, we'll call him Mr. Davidson, age 68, married 42 years. He sought my help feeling desperate because intimate relations with his wife had become impossible. I literally feel nothing anymore, he admitted. Through careful discussion, I discovered he'd been using a mechanical device with crushing pressure. His body had completely forgotten natural vaginal sensation. Retraining his sensitivity required nearly 6 months of dedicated effort. Mistake number 2. The bathroom trap. I already know your reaction. Dr. Bennett, what's wrong with that? It's the most private location in my home. I completely understand that reasoning, but let me explain the physiological consequences. First, consider positioning. Most gentlemen practice this while seated on the toilet, correct? In that posture, you're completely compressing your pelvic region. Blood vessels supplying the penis and prostate experience sustained pressure. After 60, circulation is already compromised. Adding compression creates genuine problems. Second, there's the rush factor. Nobody wants to linger in the bathroom, so you accelerate the process. Tension builds, breathing becomes shallow, heart rate spikes, blood pressure surges, and you remain completely unaware. I've documented cases of gentlemen experiencing cardiac arrhythmias, even near heart attack episodes, all because they exerted themselves excessively in enclosed, poorly ventilated spaces without adequate oxygen. Third, psychological conditioning. When you consistently practice in identical locations, your brain creates powerful associations. Eventually, you can only achieve arousal in that specific environment. This severely limits your sexual spontaneity. When you want intimate time with your partner in bed, your neurological response fails to activate properly. Mistake number 3, racing through the process. This represents the championship-level problem. Did you know that most gentlemen over 60 whom I counsel complete the entire process in under 4 minutes? 4 minutes. That's genuinely catastrophic. The masculine cardiovascular system requires adequate time, especially past 60, to prepare all systems appropriately. When you rush, your heart must pump blood extraordinarily rapidly. Arterial pressure climbs abruptly, placing tremendous strain on your entire system. It's comparable to sprinting a 100-meter dash without any warm-up. You might accomplish it, but you'll pay serious consequences afterward. Additionally, rushing means you're fixated solely on the end point, the climax, thereby missing the entire journey and all the pleasure along the way. Healthy self-stimulation, particularly at this life stage, should represent a moment of connection with your own physiology, exploration, relaxation, not a timed competition. I consistently advise my patients, dedicate at least 12 to 18 minutes. Begin slowly. Experiment with varied touch techniques. Breathe deeply, allowing your body to respond organically. You'll discover the pleasure intensifies dramatically, climax becomes more satisfying, and you avoid cardiovascular overload. Mistake number 4, neglecting proper lubrication. This seems elementary, yet you'd be astonished how many gentlemen disregard it completely. After 60, skin becomes thinner, more delicate, increasingly susceptible to micro-tears. Friction without lubrication creates tiny fissures that can inflame, become infected, and generate serious complications. And I'm not suggesting using just anything available. Absolutely no soap, shampoo, toothpaste. Good grief, no. These substances severely irritate mucous membranes. Utilize water-based lubricant specifically designed for this purpose. Any pharmacy carries it affordably, and it makes an enormous difference. I had a patient, Mr. Harrison, 65, who arrived with severely irritated, reddened, burning skin. He felt embarrassed to explain, but when I pressed, he confessed using bar soap for years. The gentleman was literally injuring himself. After switching to appropriate lubricant, everything resolved within 10 days. Mistake number 5. Pornography dependence. I won't venture into moral territory regarding pornography consumption. That's your personal decision. However, from a medical standpoint, I must warn you about a serious neurological issue: dopamine dysregulation. When you watch pornography, especially increasingly extreme content, your brain floods with dopamine, the pleasure and reward hormone. The problem? Your brain adapts to that stimulation level. Eventually, it only responds to that specific type of extreme visual input. You become neurologically dependent. The consequence? You can't achieve arousal with your wife anymore. You can't maintain erection without visual pornography. You completely lose the ability to become excited by natural, real-world stimuli. Recent American research demonstrated that gentlemen over 60 consuming daily pornography show triple the incidence of erectile dysfunction compared to those who abstain or consume occasionally. Triple the rate. That's statistically significant. If this describes you, my recommendation: attempt a complete detox. Go minimum 30 days without any pornography whatsoever. Initial days prove difficult. Your brain protests strongly, but subsequently you'll notice sensitivity returning. You'll rediscover arousal from simple, natural, authentic experiences. Furthermore, pornography establishes unrealistic expectations. Those physiques, performances, durations, none of it reflects reality. They're actors utilizing preparation, editing, pharmaceutical enhancement, everything. Comparing your actual life against that creates tremendous frustration and anxiety that only undermines your sexual health. Mistake number 6: overusing intense mechanical devices. Some of you employ mechanical stimulators, devices featuring vibration, suction, automated movement. Occasional use isn't problematic. The trouble starts when you use them constantly, daily, at maximum intensity settings. The result? Identical to excessive manual pressure. But worse, these machines create stimulation so intense, so artificial, that both brain and body acclimate exclusively to that input. Subsequently, during actual intimate relations with your partner, you experience nothing. Vaginas don't vibrate, don't provide suction, don't deliver that extreme pressure. Then you assume something's wrong with you or her, when actually you've desensitized your entire system. I had a memorable case. Mr. Thompson, 70 years old, came completely distraught. He'd purchased an expensive top-tier device and used it daily. After 8 months, he realized he couldn't maintain intimacy with his wife. Simply felt no pleasure. He was devastated. Their marriage faced crisis. Recovery required 5 months without the device, performing specialized sensitivity exercises to restore natural responsiveness. If you use these devices, my recommendation: limit usage to maximum twice weekly. Never at highest settings. Always start lowest intensity and progress gradually. Your body must maintain responsiveness to natural stimulation. Mistake number 7: timing and frequency problems. Many gentlemen don't realize that after 60, recovery between sexual events extends significantly. If you climax Monday morning alone, then Tuesday evening your wife desires intimacy. Your physiological capacity to respond adequately has diminished substantially. This isn't psychological, it's pure biology. Testosterone levels, refractory periods, cardiovascular recovery, everything takes longer. Ignoring this creates a pattern where you're perpetually unavailable for partner intimacy because you've already expended your sexual energy solo. I counseled a couple where the wife, Mrs. Patterson, came tearfully to my office. She'd discovered her husband practiced daily self-stimulation but hadn't been intimate with her in 6 weeks. She felt rejected, unattractive, unwanted. When I spoke with him privately, he'd created an addictive routine where solo activity seemed easier, quicker, without performance pressure or concern about satisfying his partner. But this pattern was destroying their marriage. My guidance was straightforward. Establish clear priorities. If you're in a committed relationship, partner intimacy comes first. Self-stimulation is supplementary, not replacement. This perspective transformed their relationship. He began reserving his sexual energy for couples time. When genuinely needed, then he'd practice self-care. Their marriage improved dramatically, her self-esteem recovered, and he discovered that shared pleasure far exceeds solitary experience. Mistake number 8. Ignoring warning signs. This final mistake proves potentially most dangerous. Many gentlemen experience concerning symptoms: chest discomfort during arousal, dizziness afterward, blood in semen, persistent pain, yet ignore these warning signals completely. After 60, your body sends clear messages when something's wrong. Dismissing these signals can lead to heart attacks, strokes, undiagnosed prostate cancer, or other life-threatening conditions. If you experience any unusual symptoms, you absolutely must consult a physician immediately. I treated Mr. Richardson, 74, who'd been experiencing chest pressure during self-stimulation for 3 months, but never mentioned it to anyone. When he finally came to my clinic for a routine checkup, I discovered he had severe coronary blockage. He was one intense session away from a major cardiac event. Emergency intervention saved his life. Now, before I provide final recommendations, I want to emphasize something crucial. None of these mistakes stem from stupidity or ignorance. They happen because nobody educated you differently. Nobody explained how your body changes past 60. Nobody prepared you to adapt your sexuality to this life phase. And honestly, it's not your fault. Society created enormous taboos surrounding senior sexuality. People assume that after 60, you have no sexual life, no desire, need no guidance. But that's complete nonsense. Sexuality has no age limit, desire has no expiration date, pleasure doesn't retire. What changes is form, frequency, intensity. Understanding this allows you to live well, healthily, with quality of life. So what can you do immediately, starting today? First, develop awareness. Are you committing any of these 8 mistakes? Be honest with yourself. No shame necessary. No self-blame required. Just acknowledge the truth. Second, implement small changes. Don't overhaul everything simultaneously. Start with one thing, using proper lubrication, changing location, reducing pornography frequency. One step at a time builds sustainable transformation. Third, communicate with your partner. If you have one, open up completely. Be honest. She'll vastly prefer frank conversation over living with uncertainty, assuming she's the problem. Fourth, seek professional assistance when necessary. If you recognize you can't change independently, that you're struggling with pornography dependency, or have more serious sexual health issues, consult a urologist or sexual therapist. There's zero shame in seeking expert help. Fifth, commit to your overall cardiovascular health. Exercise regularly. Even 30-minute daily walks make tremendous difference. Monitor blood pressure. Maintain healthy weight. What benefits your heart directly benefits your sexual function. Sixth, consider natural supplements after consulting your physician. Some gentlemen benefit from L-arginine, ginseng, or other supplements that support blood flow and hormonal balance. Never self-prescribe. Always discuss with your doctor first. Let me be absolutely clear about one final point. Your body still functions. Your desire still exists. Your capacity for pleasure remains intact. You simply need to respect natural age-related changes and adapt your habits accordingly. I've witnessed gentlemen at 75, 80, even 85 completely revitalize their sexual lives after implementing these modifications. Men who believed everything was finished, that age had defeated them, that nothing could improve. They were wrong. Solutions exist. Your body deserves respect, deserves care, deserves attention. Replace shame with curiosity, fear with knowledge, haste with patience. You'll discover that sexuality after 60 can equal or even surpass earlier decades. One additional resource I recommend: consider couples therapy if you're in a relationship. Sometimes having a neutral professional facilitate conversations about intimacy creates breakthroughs that seemed impossible before. Many of my patients found this invaluable. Also, educate yourself continuously. Read reputable medical sources about aging and sexuality. Organizations like the American Urological Association provide excellent patient resources. Knowledge empowers you to make informed decisions about your health. Remember that every gentleman's situation is unique. What works for one person might not work for another. Pay attention to your own body's signals. Track what improves your experience and what doesn't. Adjust accordingly. If watching this presentation helped you somehow, if you recognized any of these mistakes in your own behavior, I'd appreciate knowing this content proved valuable. And if you have friends, brothers, or family members who might benefit from this information, please share it with them. Sometimes we need that gentle nudge to start taking better care of ourselves. I'm Dr. Charles Bennett, and I'll continue providing quality information without judgment or taboo to help you live better. My goal is empowering you with knowledge that transforms your health and happiness. Before we conclude, here's my essential closing message. This content serves educational purposes only. It absolutely does not replace evaluation by a qualified specialist. If you have concerns or symptoms, please consult your healthcare provider immediately. Your health is too important to leave to chance. Thank you for your attention and trust. Take care of yourself. You're worth it.